Yes, yes. It's another day, another wonderful day. Blessed to be here. Now check this out, everybody. I know everybody is like kind of tired of going to work and you putting that work, you putting them hours, sometimes that overtime hours to get that paycheck. And once you get that paycheck, whatever it's Friday or every other Friday, every 2 weeks or once a month, however you get paid, you putting that money into your bank account just to see it dwindle away on bills, automatic payment, all type of stuff. So by the time you get to really look at your bank account, a lot of times, most of that money from your paycheck is almost gone or already gone because we basically just working, putting that time in, getting that money for that paycheck just to see it dwindle away. And some of the reasons why it's dwindling away is, of course, how the economy is going. We got the economy is not doing too well. We got inflation. Even though it's slowing up a little bit, inflation is not stopping. Even though they said, okay, well, inflation was down, that doesn't mean that it stopped. That means inflation is slowing down for that month or for that time period or for that quarter. It doesn't mean that it exactly stopped unless we bring down inflation to 0.00 or even under that. Right now, it's about 4.5, and we got the Federal Reserve, Federal Reserve Chairman Powell will be talking soon, so they might talk about, the Federal Reserve able to reduce the interest rate, probably bring it down to maybe 4.25 or 4.0, but nothing less than 3.75 within the next year, right? So we have to look out and watch out for that. So the recession is really hitting us hard. So that's another way we can see that our paycheck is dwindling away. We can see the cost of living is going up, not to mention the price of groceries, the price of, your everyday product, cleaning products, whatever you need in order to survive and live a good life, live the best life that you can. All the price of those stuff is going up, right? So every day we're working, but all it seems like we're paying bills, and it seems like it takes a while even just to have some extra money put aside, right? Even when you're trying to save and you think you're saving, it's always something that probably pop up that end up having you use the extra money that you use up, the extra savings, the extra cash flow. So we got to come up with extra money, surplus money, and different ways of earning extra money in order to balance with inflation, because we're going to be facing a recession. A recession is coming, and I know I spoke about it probably a few years ago, and we saw a slight recession, not exactly a whole full recession, because they said, the GDP got to be negative for 2 quarters or something like that in a row. So not exactly sure how they measure the recession or how they measure the recession, but looking at the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that come out with the CPI data and the Consumer Price Index, all that report, it's not looking good for us right now. Right now, it looks like we're going to be going back in a recession. Inflation is going, inflation not going up, but it's barely slowing up. You got inflation barely slowing up while the price of costs and everything is going up while inflation is going up or barely slowing down. So what we got to do, right? But what we got to do with it is be able to play defense against what the economy is doing. Play some kind of defense, because we're not really going to be able to play offense, because in order to play offense in this economy, you got to be well off. You got to be a high income earner, I think it was like if you're single, $300,000 a year plus, $1 million in assets or savings or some type of brokerage. So it's not easy just to make yourself go through this economy the way it is. So we're going to have to play some defense, because we can't play offense right now. So we got to play some defense, right? So either we're going to stop squandering our money and saving it with like little to no interest rate. And what we have to start doing with the little bit of money that we have, instead of saving it and trying to squander it and have it grow, we have to start investing it, and investing it the right way in order to grow, because we're going to be facing a recession. So we got to start doing things a different kind of way. We have to start working on how we can get more surplus money in our account instead of going through debt. And the little bit of savings and stuff that we got to start figuring out how we can make it work for us. So maybe we can start getting some assets, some cheap assets, penny to the dollar, and be able to use it to our benefits. Because right now, we just going to work, get a paycheck. Yeah, you pay your bills, pay off your bills. You might have a little extra money. And with that little extra money, what we're going to do, we're going to end up spending it as consumers. So we go to work, we come home, and we become consumers and we pay bills. Like, even if we have some little extra money left, or what they call it. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a video on it because I forgot what it's called. Something accounting. It's called something accounting. I'm gonna have to look it up and I'm do a video on it because I came across this information, and it's basically saying like, okay, you really don't think about your accounting money like that because, say for example, okay, you go to work for 40 hours and you earn $1,000, right? Go to work 40 hours and you earn not even. All right, so let's do it this way. Say you go to work 40 hours and you earn $800, but 1 week you end up getting a $200 bonus. What we do, we don't go out and like try to rationalize that $200 and trying to budget it. What happened in our head, unconsciously or subconsciously or whatever way it happens, we think, okay, well, we have this extra money. We have extra money to spend, not extra money to allocate to another bill, or not extra money to allocate to knocking off our debt, or extra money towards investment. What we think right away, oh, we have some extra money. We have some extra money to spend. So we get in that consumer mode where we're going to spend it out on a bigger dinner, or we're going to go out to eat, or we're not going to spend the money as investment. We're going to spend it as consumer, which is a big problem for a lot of us, right? So we got to go into work, getting that check, but we're paying our bills, and we're becoming consumers and not investors, and which is a big problem because that's how we're going to start to see that recession. So we're going to have to start putting our money away because inflation, like I said, is not slowing up. I mean, it's not stopping. It's slowing up a little bit according to the Federal Reserve and according to those chairmen in the I forgot the name of that committee, but the Federal Reserve Chairman Committee, that committee right there, where they decide, okay, well, we're gonna reduce the interest rate. We're gonna reduce the interest rate and do something with the monetary policy, right? So going forward now, we gotta recalculate our budget and our strategies. We gotta recalculate our budgeting and start working on some strategies in order for us to gain some extra cash flow. To be ready, we have to be flexible because we don't know what we're going to be facing with the economy with the upcoming year. We don't know how the policies is going to work out. We don't know the new administration and their policies, what they're doing. Is it going to affect us, or how it's going to affect us? So we got to be willing to take care of ourselves. That's going to be one thing. You're going to have to be willing to budget for yourself, increase your cash flow for yourself, and then when you're learning, or when you're able to structure yourself the right way, where you have enough cash flow coming in, where you're budgeting yourself a better way, then what you're going to be able to do now is you're going to be able to put that money back into investment, back into the right way, in order to gain some kind of profit off of it, some kind of gains, or some kind of returns. So things are definitely getting different. Things are going to be starting to get tight. You see, like a lot of the government entitlement programming that we were used to, a lot of them are getting cut back. So for example, if you're a person out there that's used to like the food SNAP, the SNAP benefits, the food stamps, the Medicare, got to be careful because they're going to be cutting back on a lot of these programs and benefits. So you got to be on point. You got to be willing to take care of yourself. Got to be willing to budget yourself right. Budget your money. Then you can start helping out your friends and family budget right. And you start working on creating different cash flow, right? Now, when we going about doing this, you're going to have to think about, you got to give yourself a raise, because your job's not going to give yourself a raise. Your job's not going to give yourself a raise other than that, 2%, 3%. But you got inflation is up 4.5%, and then you got cost of living up another 3%. So, right? So how are we going to combat that? We got to give ourselves a raise. Now, to give yourself a raise means to cut back on your spending, cut back on certain things. You got that automatic payment that's coming out your account, cut back on that. Stop that automatic payment, like for maybe, you know, a streaming app or something like that. Cut that back, reduce on some of that in order to get yourself some more cash flow, some more surplus money. We have to cut back on our spending, find different ways of generating extra money, extra cash flow. Maybe you find a part-time job, or maybe you can do something online, or get involved with the gig economy to increase your cash flow and create some extra money, right? Because like I said, things are going to get tight. We're facing a recession. A recession most likely will be coming up. So how are we prepared for it, right? So we have to start preparing for it now. We have to reduce our spending, work on our budget, recalculate our budget. Maybe we have to downsize on some things. Like for me, I have a storage unit that I really don't even be needing because they actually went up on the price. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna downsize on that storage unit. Probably gather some of the things and start reselling them, selling them online, you know, eBay, Etsy, OfferUp, something like that, in order to, one, generate some extra cash flow, reduce my spending, and be able to have some extra money for investing, right? So make sure you start taking care of yourself, and that's going to be emotionally, that's going to be your mental health and your physical health, because we're going to be facing with some hard times. We got to learn things like growing your own fruits and vegetables. Well, growing your own vegetables, gardening, and being able to, basically growing your own vegetables, right? And sell stuff you're not using, accumulate asset, use that asset as collateral, and cut back on your purchasing. Like I said, you probably have an extra money come through. It's tax season, you got some extra money. Well, it's not really extra money, it's your money that you gave the government. And the government used your money, now they're giving you some of your money back when it's actually your money to begin with. So it's not really a refund, it's your money, you're just getting your money back, right? So, hope y'all got some value out of this. A recession might be coming. Actually, a recession is coming. You can tell by gas prices, food prices, the price of eggs. Check out the GDP. Check out the CPI data. All of that stuff is looking more towards a recession is coming. So make sure we start preparing ourselves, reducing our spending, recalculating our budget, finding different ways to create extra cash flow, and giving yourself a raise by getting involved maybe in the gig economy, being an entrepreneur, creating a business, running a business, operating a business, learning the formality of business and policies and things like that in order to play defense, because we got a recession coming up. We have to start preparing now. You can even start growing your own vegetables inside. Get some pots and some soil, start germinating your seeds. You can start and even grow some spinach, some parsley, different things, some lettuce, some romaine lettuce. Start growing it inside or outside your house, apartment, whichever way, in order to start reducing some of your spending, right? So once again, it's ANZD. Hope you got some value out of this. We was talking about the recession is coming up, and we have to prepare for it, right? Prepare for yourself. Get yourself ready. Gear up, you know, learn budgeting, learn reduce spending, learn recalculating your budgeting habits. Track what you're spending, and reduce the consumer power, right? So stop being a consumer and start becoming more an investor, and learn a lot more about these policies, rules, and regulations, so you'll be able to use it to your advantage instead of having it just being a way of life. All right, so once again, AZD here. Hope you got some value. Hit that like button, that subscribe button. Take care of yourself, health. Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. All right, and make sure you work on that financial mindset and that financial education, financial independence, all that, right? And get prepared, because it's a recession coming. Talk to you later. Peace.